right, Coach, what do you got?
Okay, now are we talking Punky Brewster during the early years or Punky Brewster the later years?
Good question.
I think we're talking Punky Brewster the later years.
Good question. Good question.
All things that can be used as flotation devices?
Wow. Coach Phil Tamulis got it correct.
Congratulations, Phil.
Our answer on our end, which is very, very close to you, are people who would never ever drown in the middle of the ocean. But Coach, that you pretty much nailed it. You nailed it. Oh yeah, that was a late addition, but who doesn't like Kevin Costner from Waterworld? Right?
He has web feet.
That was a lot of money.
Guys, he has web feet and gills. That's why. just want to make sure we all understand the reasoning behind this. Phil, congratulations on the Enigma question. You are a man of pop culture, so I had faith in you of getting that. My last question.
I can't tell you who the vice president is, but JWoww, I can tell you all that.
My last question for you, Coach, and I appreciate you taking this amount of time to talk with all of our asses today. Each week, usually on Tuesdays, I inform the general public via Twitter and all our fans all around the world who the coach was going to be on the podcast for that week. And then I put out there if anyone wants to send in any suggested questions or whatnot, feel free to send them to me. Last week we actually did have someone send in a question for Coach Chris Heaney. It was a bit inappropriate, but a question nonetheless. We have another question from another fan. Didn't sign their name. I don't know who sent it, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you, and if you would oblige us to answer it. Again, it is not coming from me. I will quote the question, which is, quote, Phil, if you love No Sean Marino so much, how about you marry him? Huh, you fuck? Unquote.
Gee, I wonder who that's from.
So anyway,
I don't want to marry him.
You don't want to marry him. Well, there it is.
Well, I mean, he's been a healthy scratch for the past few weeks. He's been a horrible keeper this year.
Yeah, probably a horrible keeper, like, ever. But, yeah, for those of you who don't know, what was it, Phil, D6, D7, right around there, you didn't have much of a keeper selection, so you were claiming you were going to keep No Sean Marino. I think it was his sophomore year, and it created quite a buzz around the league. It turned out you ended up, I think, making a trade for D'Angelo Williams, which didn't turn out to be the greatest, solution.
Well, it did spur a league rule change, though, I believe, that trade.
Oh, you're right. It did. I believe that was the trade that you got.
Bub was offended by that trade.
Bub, was it you? D'Angelo Williams for like a 12th round pick or something like that?
I honestly...
It was like a 13th round pick. It was something really late.
I think it was Will.
Yeah, it was Will.
I think it was Will. That bastard. Yeah, no, that did create a little bit of a rule change where a top 25 player post June 1st cannot be traded for anything less than a 10th round pick. So that's, you live and you learn, and that's how we do here in the Dynasty. Coach, I want to thank you for your time. Again, thank you for using Tom Berkowitz Trucking for all of your garbage needs. Sorry for Bub's bashing of you. Hopefully you set him straight. And good luck this week against the Boston Loggers. Good luck the rest of the way. And you take care of yourself out there.
All right, thank you, fellas.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, Bub.
Phil.
No, Bub. I'm talking to you.
Oh. Oh, yeah, Phil's gone.
Phil's gone. We let Phil go.
I forgot.
Great interview, by the way, Phil. And thank you, Bub, for participating.
You're sure. Ruben else go out.
Hey, so let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
By the way, did you end up looking up how close Mississippi is from Alabama?
No, it's Louisiana to Alabama.
Louisiana to Alabama.
Yeah, so from Foley, Alabama to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yep, same as Boston to Toronto.
Well,
right?
it's 180 miles, 3 hours.
3 hours, okay.
So that's an average of 60 miles an hour, 180 divided by 3.
Oh.
It's 60 miles per hour. Okay. And that's not the point. That's the point.
Okay.
And then I looked up Whitensville, Mass.
Oh, Whitesville. Why didn't you look up Riverdale?
I tried. Phil, what? Phil's gone.
I'm sorry.
So I looked up Whitensville, Mass. To Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yes.
It is 520 miles, and it takes 8 hours to get there.
So what you're saying is I was completely right?
So it's right on the money.
I'm right on the money. Let's call up Coach Toddy Watson, Foley High School, Julio Jones. Whoop!
Now, the Dynasty Podcast brings you an interactive and likely ridiculous segment with borderlines on actual legit media. Buckle up your fucking seatbelts for the Dynasty Podcast interactive segment.
And now on the Tom Berkowitz Trucking Hotline is current athletic director and head football coach at Foley High School in Foley, Alabama, and former coach of Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones. Coach Watson, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, Todd, you've been the head coach there at Foley High since 2005, I believe, and I believe Julio Jones was on the team from 2004 through 2007. Can you tell us kind of what you remember of Jones, and I guess as a person and as a player?
Yeah, he as a freshman in 2004, he played on the team, played on the varsity football team. That was the year before I got here. They were a little different type of offense. Played a little more running back and free safety. When I got here in 2005, we were a little more of a spread offense, vertical passing team, and we moved him to a wide receiver. And what you noticed off the bat was athleticism, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy that 6'3". At that time, he was about 195 pounds. Could run, jump, and make all the big catches and everything, even as a sophomore. We came into that year, and he had a big year. And what we noticed as we got into the offseason was not only was he a good athlete, but he was a gym rat. I mean, he enjoyed going in the weight room and working out, lifting, and doing all the other little things from a work ethic standpoint that you don't always see out of a skilled player.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things that kind of jumped off the page at you. Was not only was he an athletic person, a very skilled athlete, but he was also had great at work ethic. He's kind of a quiet guy. Didn't say a whole lot as a sophomore, but really as he got into his junior and senior year, he saw him step forward as more of a leadership role and really work with the younger guys around him, and in his attempt to make everybody around him better.
Great. No, that's excellent. Now, and a lot of people probably aren't aware of this, but Julio Jones's real name is actually, I think it's Quintoris Lopez Jones. Coach, did he go by Julio back in high school as well, or?
Yeah, he was. I talked to some of his elementary school teachers, and through elementary school, still a lot of them refer to him as Quintoris. But from the time I got here, he was always known as Julio, and so his whole high school career, he was known as Julio Jones. And I didn't even catch until we started submitting the eligibility list.
Right.
His first ticket, his actual name was Quintoris. I always knew it was Julio.
Right.
Coach, you kind of touched upon it, answering your last question, but did you kind of see him making the pros one day, or was it more of a shock to you?
Well, we're such a small percentage of guys make the pros, but obviously when you looked at him and you saw the skill set he had, the speed he had, and then you throw in the fact that he had great work ethic, I think that was a tip real early that this guy's got a chance to go not only to college, but to even go on to the next level. I and some of our assistant coaches here have been fortunate enough to have had some guys on the team that have made it to that level, and so those guys kind of stand out real quick. A lot of times you got guys with great talent but maybe don't have great work ethic, or you got guys with great heart that maybe don't have the skill set and the talent. When you get a guy that's got the great talent and the great work ethic and those type things, it's easy to perceive him in the future as a guy that could make it in the NFL.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Yeah, definitely Good Riverdale scooper. And then the